Hi everyone, so I've had a few requests to do this video from friends and family, so I'm just going to get right to it. This video is going to be about what it's like, realistically what it's like to be with someone and live with someone who takes steroids. I just want to kind of put my thoughts out there and hopefully kind of encourage other people to talk about their own experiences and kind of, what was that noise? God. And kind of normalise what it's like. The main question I get all the time is Joe angry? Does he get void rage? And honestly, he really doesn't. When people ask who's the most angry person or most hot-tempered person out of us, it's me. It's me, definitely me. And the only time I think I've ever seen Joe get really angry was when we were in Birmingham and we were in the city centre and the traffic was just ridiculous, and I think anyone go mad in that situation. And I think what I have seen with a lot of girls is they seem to, any emotion that a guy has, if he's on steroids, whether that's angry, sad, frustrated, happy, anything. Well, to be fair, I think any negative emotion that a guy feels, if they're on steroids, I think people are very easy to kind of quickly label it as, oh, it's because he's on steroids. I think it's a bit unfair to do that, because if you're naturally an angry person and you take PEDs, steroids, it will make you more of an angry person because you've got that personality trait. Whereas Joe is a really cool, I know it's not. Well, Joe is a really laid back, chill type of guy. So, you know, he's on Tren at the moment and he does testosterone, which is normal because of his testosterone replacement therapy. He's not an angry person. I've had a few girls kind of say, oh, you know, we broke up because of the steroids, because he was angry and because he was a dick. Now, I don't mean this to be horrible, but your boyfriend is a dick. Whether he takes the steroids or not, he's still going to be a dick. I don't think people should kind of paint every single person with the same brush, because if I did that, I would be with Joe and I wouldn't be the happiest I've ever been. I think the weirdest thing for me, and it still is, because I have a bit of a phobia about it, and I'll kind of pick up this one because it's his insulin one, so it's not as bad, but you know, seeing him inject and the needles, that is still something that's very, very strange to me, and it's one thing that I don't think I'll ever get used to. I've always got to look away when he does it. But I think the best thing I ever did was to try and understand and to listen and to learn, because I think if you go down the route of instantly attacking him, you know, anything he does you link it to steroids, I don't think it helps the relationship, and yet it will kind of, you know, put a gap, or, you know, push people apart, because, you know, the guy knows how he feels, and if you don't ask him, then you're not really going to know whether something he's doing is because, or something that he's feeling or being like is because maybe he's taking too much steroids or Tren or anything like that, or whether it is generally because, you know, he's sad because something's happened, or he's angry because someone at work's pissed him off. I think it's still weird for me to see, you know, this type of stuff next to the cheese. That's something that I've still got to get normalised to. But I've been surprised about how sterile and how clinical in a way it is. I always saw it as kind of like a dirty thing, whereas now, seeing the way that Joe handles this stuff, it's the complete opposite representation of what the media and what the TV actually portrays it to be. So I didn't want to make this too much of a really massive, long, lengthy video. I just wanted to be kind of like a starting point where people can actually come to me and ask me questions, and if they're having issues then with their partner, girlfriend or boyfriend, then you've got to try and understand. There's no point telling them to stop, because from my experience, a bloke is a bloke. You can only say, you know, you can tell him certain things, but when it comes to stuff like this, a guy wants to get bigger, they want to get stronger. That is what society tells them to do, or tells them to be like. So, you know, when this is placed in front of some people, they will do it. Now, the reason that Joe got into this was a slightly different reason, but then he kind of went slowly into this kind of bodybuilding type realm. But if you don't, you've got two options here. You can either try and understand it and actually help him do it the more healthy way. For example, Make sure he gets clean needles, going to the needle exchange, getting his blood work done, whether that's privately or through the NHS, to make sure that everything's still normal and it's in range. You know, working with a coach that knows what they're doing, because there's two different ways that people, you know, use this stuff, and I think people forget that there's the clinical, medical way of doing it. For example, testosterone replacement therapy, which is what Joe did because he naturally had very low testosterone levels, but the NHS wouldn't help. Or there's the other side, which people, I say a good 90% of people generalise this use, is with the bodybuilding world, you know, the aesthetic side of it. I can see it from both sides. I can understand why he wants to do it, but I can understand why people find it uncomfortable and a bit strange. But I think it's, you know, before people start disliking this video or getting their judgments, at least, sorry, I'm gonna put that down now, you know, at least try and understand it, and not take everything that society shows to you and take that as for granted. There's little things that you can do, which are what a girlfriend should be doing, is moaning all the time, but you know, doing little things to make sure that they're doing it in the safest way possible. I've only really scratched the surface, but I don't want it to be a over 10 minute video, because I just want this to be a starting point. So, you know, obviously everyone's experience is different, and I completely respect any other person who's had, you know, had difficult experiences with steroids, but I would like to open up this debate. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the YouTube description. You can Instagram me, Facebook me, email me, anything really. I hope this is kind of showing people, because I tried to look for YouTube videos like this and there was nothing. No one talks about it. No one talks about what it's like. Everyone focuses on the person doing it, but kind of forget that there's someone in the background having to deal with it and adapt and change. And it is a big change. It's a big transition that I've kind of gone through personally. But yeah, I think this needs, it does need to be brought up. I'm going to put a link to Joe's channel, because what he does is basically show, he doesn't want to glorify it, and this video, I hope that I don't glorify it either, because if you can avoid taking PEDs or steroids, I'd advise to not do it. But if you're going to do it, at least do it the right way, at least do it in a sensible way, and do your research and speak to the right people about it. So I think I've gone on for long enough, but I hope that's kind of scratched the surface. If you have any questions, then please do let me know, and hopefully this will open up the debate. And if anyone else wants me to do a video like coming off this, then please let me know.